Hey, hey, what's up? Is the audio coming through? Let me know if the audio is coming through on the stream. Who is excited about this draft today? There's a lot of rumors going around. Leafs are looking for goaltending. Marc-Andre Fleury is one of the names. Yeah, so Marc-Andre Fleury linked to the Leafs, the Capitals, and the Minnesota Wild. John Gibson rumors. The Leafs could be looking into him. Darcy Kemper is now headed to free agency. And Darcy Kemper is going to be a hot commodity, just coming off a cup right now. I could see, I could see the Leafs going for this one because the way I see it, the Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche are pretty much built the same. It's a lot of great deals going through right now. Alex DeBrincat getting traded. Who would have thunk it? The Ottawa Senators. So put it in the chat. Tell me who you think is going first overall. Is it right? Is it Slavkovsky? What's happening in the top pick? I think I think the Montreal Canadiens are always going to go with the Canadian kid. They're not going to go with the European. That's just the way I see it. There's some stuff going on out there right now. Interesting, 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 interesting. It'll be interesting. Marc-Andre Fleury, he's got some options. I don't know. Marc-Andre Fleury going to Minnesota if he thinks he has a chance to win there, but I don't think he has a chance to win there, guys. I don't think so, man.
you live this once, and you have to try to find a way amongst your nerves to take this in and experience it, and I'm hopeful that they will.
All right, Kyle.
Okay,
Habs
Elliot, Jack,
GM.
what do you think of that?
Put your picks in, guys. Who's going first overall? Man, there's a lot of rumors going on right now. What is going on right now? The insiders. Hmm. What are the chances the Leafs take a goalie with one of their picks today? I think it's pretty high. I think there's a couple of good options there in the later rounds. I think the Leafs have three picks. I think if the Leafs get to their third pick and the guy they want is not available, there's a there's a good chance they trade down and turn that into two picks and keep going like that until they recuperate at least two or three picks this year. I don't know about this Alex DeBrincat trade. I don't know about this trade. I don't know why the Ottawa Senators would trade for a guy with only 1 year left. If he decides that this team is not good and he walks, they gave up a lot for Alex DeBrincat. They gave up two picks in the first round. The draft is available on Sportsnet and TSN. Are you referring to streaming the draft? If you don't have cable, if cable is not an option? You got to find somebody who has Rogers and Bell and then just log into their Rogers or Bell app and then you can watch it for free. All you need is Wi-Fi. I think you're allowed like five different sign-ins or something like that. I'm not aware of any free sites that stream the draft. So if you know somebody who has Rogers and Bell or Rogers or Bell, just download the app and use their sign-in on your phone. Watch the draft that way. That's what I recommend. I'm going to be streaming a little bit of the audio later, but I won't be streaming the actual draft. Maybe I'll just maybe I'll be nice and just stream the first overall pick for the Montreal Canadiens fans and then cut the stream. Ding, 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 ding.
Right now, and you guys could each give a final pitch for why another should be drafted. Let's hear it, Connor.
Yeah, so for Denton, I'd say super fast, great skater. He's made me fall a couple times going to the
Get used to it. It's loud in here. Denton, what about you?
Yeah, for Owen, I've known him my whole life and played with him a lot. We played together in Eastman, and he's seen him grow and be a great player. Keeps getting better, and he's just going to keep doing that once he gets to the NHL level. And that's why any team should draft him. He's going to be a great player.
Yeah, for Connor, I've played with and against him growing up, so he's tough to play against. He's big, skilled, good shot, so super competitive. He's difficult to play against, and he's going to fit in wherever he goes.
Okay, not sure if you guys have a bet on draft order or not, but what about best dressed? Because I hear you've got something special in the liner of your suit.
Yeah, I got that. But I don't know how much that means. I got the whole Montreal thing.
Okay, pretty good.
I don't know what you guys have, but
That's good. Little cheetah print.
that's pretty good. That's pretty
yeah.
sick, yeah.
One of the guys getting drafted today has the Montreal skyline stitched inside of his jacket. That's interesting. Who do you guys think is going first overall? Let me know. I like Owen Pickering. Owen Pickering is a good kid. He is one hell of a talent. Connor Geeky. So there is some talent in this draft. I don't know if they're definitely not NHL ready, but
I'll be your card agent.
Martin St. Louis used to be my favorite player ever. It's a raffle, and all tickets. I saw that card, all the tickets.
You got a Gretzky card?
My buddy, who's not a hockey guy, he puts one ticket in, boom, wins. And I'm feeling.
Huge. What would you not want to have on your card on the back? Winter.
Have you guys looked at any mock drafts for this year's first round? The average height has got to be like 5'10". 5'10", maybe 5'11", the most. Seems like everybody in the first round. There are a couple of like 6'1", 6'2" kids, but there's not a lot of not a lot of high-end talent that's big in size in this draft. Seems like the kids are getting shorter and shorter. Oh, we're getting close.
So good. I mean, this year, Jagger Perkins walked in there. This guy's 150 pounds soaking wet.
Look at this kid. Who's drafting this kid? I want to know who's drafting this kid.
With the thumb and the index finger and said, oh, yeah, it's good. So you got to love the character of this young man. 36 goals for Moose Jaw Warriors. Well, I'm going to go a different direction. They didn't have this draft combine when that 1991 came along. That was the draft for Eric Lindros in Buffalo. Lindros went 1, Aspeloon went 2 to San Jose, and number 3 was Scotty Niedermeyer for the New Jersey Devils. The fascinating part of it was the best interview I was ever part of was with Tyler Wright, now the chief scout of the Edmonton Oilers. He ended up going 12th overall in this draft, had a really strong career, but wouldn't overwhelm him with numbers. He was a great junior with the Swift-Current Broncos, and I'll tell you right now, of all the players...
Looks like Malkin is about to sign in Pittsburgh, guys. That is legitimate.
This draft brings back some fond memories. Ryan Ellis was selected 11th overall in that draft. I don't know who was having...
Come on, get the drafting, get the drafting. Let's see who that first overall pick is going to be. Come on, let's get it started. Let's go. Stop talking. The Montreal GM is tapping on the microphone to see if it's live already. Martin St. Louis. First pick overall coming your way in the next 10 minutes. They're about to show it. Hope you guys are ready. So who's going first overall? Who are the Montreal Canadiens taking in the with the first overall pick in the 2022 draft? Who are the Montreal Canadiens? I think it's going to be right. I think they're going to go with the Canadian kid. I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to take a chance on Europeans. No, this can't be right. This cannot be right. What? Marc-Andre Fleury, 2 years in Minnesota? Oh, Marc-Andre Fleury got $3.5 million for 2 years. Wow. That's insane. I'm not going to be streaming the draft. Um, you can't. You pretty much you can't do that anymore. When you try to stream the draft, it doesn't show on these on Streamlabs on different applications. You can't bring up TV apps. It automatically blacks it out, so you can't see it. But I'll be streaming some audio, especially with the first overall pick when the Montreal Canadiens go up there. I'll stream the audio. I'll show you guys the first pick overall. I can't believe Marc-Andre Fleury got $7 million. What is going on? It's all commercials right now, guys. I would definitely like to stream some audio for you guys right now, but it's commercial after commercial. First pick coming up. Too many commercials. Come on, guys. Let's get to it. Who remembers when the Philadelphia Flyers went to draft Claude Giroux and they forgot his name? Hilarious. Who's going first? Connor Geeky just said he thinks he deserves to be the first pick overall. Wow. Come on, enough with the commercials already.
Atmosphere here in Montreal, and remember, thanks to COVID, it was a 2-year wait for this city to host the draft, but finally we're here. The Canadians ready to announce the next foundational piece to their historic franchise. The big question, Shane Wright or Juraj Slafkovsky? That is the question as Montreal prepares to make the first pick in the 2022 NHL entry draft. And yes, welcome into Montreal. What a scene it is here. It's been so much fun. The city is buzzing. I can tell you, the building is electric as well as we welcome in Sam Cosentino, as well as Pierre Maguire, Jason Bukala. All right, guys, the intrigue's about to be answered, but what's most intriguing as we set up tonight?
We're minutes before this thing. We have no idea who's going number one.
No.
And we knew, and it was McDavid, and we knew, and it was Matthews, and we knew all about what that number one pick would be in most drafts. But here we sitting here, we have no clue what's going to happen. Is it Slafkovsky? Is it right? Or do they throw a curveball right off the hop here?
Pierre Maguire is about to chime in with his
No question about it.
genius.
You know, when you think about it, the Canadians can go in one of two directions: get the real talented 200-foot player, or get the power forward, Sam, that a lot of people want to have on their team in the NHL, but they don't draft them. And that's the big thing. That's going to be their biggest question, I think, going into who's going to go number one. Is it the power forward or the 200-foot player?
I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. Clearly,
Guys,
know,
if you don't have the NHL app, download the NHL app and you can stream live from the NHL app.
They're going to get a 200-foot player similar to Suzuki in right. If they go another way and they go to Cooley, they get a 1A guy, plays a lighter game, more offensive upside. Either way, all three ways, the team's improving today. I'm interested to see what the fans want and what this building does in the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, imagine the Montreal Canadiens go up there for the first pick in Montreal and get booed out of the stadium because the fans don't like the pick.
About, hey, we've got 14 picks. You come in as a new general manager, what more could you possibly ask for? You have the number one pick in your own barn. What more could you ask for? What I will say about this new group with Jeff Gorton and Ken Hughes, they are not afraid to go against the grain. If they feel very strongly about Slafkovsky, maybe that's not the popular pick here in the building. That's the road they're going to go down. And how can you argue, especially with Jeff Gorton's experience, what he did with the New York Rangers and how quickly they got near the top of the mountain with his rebuild?
That's the key point, David, and I agree with you 100%, Sam. The truth of the matter is when you really think about this whole thing, the experience of Jeff Gorton helping a first-time general manager like Ken Hughes get through this, that makes a world of difference when it comes down to drafting and identifying a key point in your development.
If the appetite is for immediate impact, it's going to be Slavkovsky, in my opinion. I'm not going to overthink this. He's the most pro-ready body. That would be the guy if you're looking for somebody
Wow.
So many decisions. We're going to hear from Kyle Bukowskis and Carolyn Cameron. We have a group of analysts ready to go, but we're going to start with our insiders, Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman. Lots of
rumors.
Elliot, we start with you.
All right, just a few things I'm keeping an eye on. Spoke briefly to Tom Fitzgerald, who has the number 2 pick with New Jersey. He said talks slowed down a bit today. We'll see what happens with number 1, and then if things pick up at the Devils' table. Just recently, Minnesota announced they've re-signed Marc-Andre Fleury to a 2-year deal, $3.5 million per season. And guys, I'm starting to hear some rumblings about the Islanders' first-round pick. I wonder if that's a potential JT Miller destination. I think the Islanders' first-round pick is in play. Jeff, what do you have?
A couple of things. What we're wondering about, Elliot, is are there any teams in advance of free agency next week willing to attach their first-round draft pick to a bad contract to get some cap relief and maybe make some space? And Elliot, one of the teams that I think a lot of people are wondering about are the Philadelphia Flyers. They will draft 5th overall. And as much as the speculation has been about Shane Wright and Yuri Slavkovsky, one general manager told me yesterday, I don't care to read any of your lists. This whole thing is going to be a spray. There is some talk, and there is some
You're right, Rick.
that maybe at 2-3,
Campbell is not worth more than a Marc-Andre Fleury.
Scottsdale, Arizona, the local boy goes home story, becomes a member of the Arizona Coyotes. Now, when Charles Barkley calls you Canada's Tom Brady, you step up your game. So in that spirit, from Campbell River, the runways of Campbell River, to the runways of Montreal, the new Canadian hotness, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Bukowskis.
I think this will be my last day in broadcasting, Jeff, after that intro. The hottest ticket in town here tonight, but admission is free in the section behind me. The top prospects, along with their families and special guests, Wright and Slavkovsky, front and center. When a player hears his name called here tonight, they will make their way down the stairs and then along this runway. And there you see the words over there, welcome to the NHL. That's what they will be greeted with by Commissioner Gary Bettman once they reach the stage. And then for the first time since 2019, an opportunity for a handshake and a photo op with the organization that will have changed their lives forever. The nervous energy is palpable, Carolyn Cameron.
I was nervous for that walk. I don't know how to follow that up, Kyle. So yes, I have the easy, comfortable job of sitting just off stage. And this is where I'll be met with the new members of the NHL family right after they get drafted, right after they shake Gary Bettman's hand and take that picture. We'll hear them reflect on their journey and their...
Holy smokes, there's a lot of talking. Get to the picks already. Come on. Come on. There's way too much talking. Get to the picks, man. Get to the picks. Who's going first overall, guys? Put it in the chat. Let me see what you got. Let's see who's right and who's wrong. No pun intended. It's so weird now that the NHL has gotten rid of Gatorade and they've signed with BioSteel for hydration products. Seeing all this, all these BioSteel products on the table instead of Gatorade is weird. Guess who's up there, guys?
Bonsoir, Montréal. Bienvenue aux repêchages de la Ligue nationale du hockey Upper Deck 2022. Commencions son plus tard. I am delighted to be conducting a draft in person again.
I can't believe he just tried to speak French. That was horrible.
We are thrilled that the draft is in the city that has played host to the first NHL draft back in 1963 and has been home to the most NHL drafts since. Not sure why you're booing that.
No,
Your city.
no matter what he says, he gets booed.
On a serious note,
Oh my God, it's so brutal.
we had a tragedy here in Montreal yesterday with the untimely passing of Brian Marchment, who was here in his capacity with the San Jose Sharks. Obviously, our condolences, the condolences of the entire NHL family go out to Brian's family and friends, and I'd ask everybody to stand for a moment of silence in Brian's memory. Thank you. You'll have to hold it for a second. Wait a minute. I'm now honored to be accompanied tonight by Tanya Bossi and Martin Lafleur. Within a span of 8 days in April, the NHL lost two of its most
They
legendary
literally
players.
cheer as soon as he starts talking. They just boo.
Most beloved
It's
sons,
so brutal.
and most important, Tanya and Martin lost their cherished fathers. We still and always will feel their losses deeply. But tonight, we celebrate their lives.
Legends. Legends.
And we recall that the remarkable careers of both Guy Lafleur and Mike Bossy began on nights such as this at NHL drafts held in Montreal.
Mon père a grandi dans un village qui s'appelait Turso. Un jour, il rêvait, comme son idole, Jean Béliveau, de faire la Ligue nationale. In 1971, thanks to Sam Pollock's wizardry, the Montreal Canadiens drafted my father.
Come on, guys. Let's get to the draft. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's hear the picks. Let's hear the picks. Let's go. Let's go. This is taking way too long. Way too much talking. It's the NHL draft. Come on, man. This is a day for the kids. Look at all this talking that they're doing. Taking the spotlight off the kids and their talent. Come on. I don't know why you didn't do this at the NHL awards ceremony. Bring these people out and let them talk during the awards ceremony when you have zero content. Come on, man. Nobody wants to hear Mike Bossy's daughter talk. What is she going to say? My dad was great. Yeah, we get it. He's a GOAT. It's way too much talking, man. Get to it. Let's go. A huge waste of time, guys. Look at all these kids in their suits with their parents sitting there and listening to this nonsense. Come on. Mike Bossy's daughter. Bring her to the awards show. Let her talk. This is such a waste of time. I don't know why they're wasting all this time. Let's get to the kids, man. It's their day. Showcase talent. Come on. And of course, she's got to say everything in English and French, making it take longer. Thank you. Can we get to the draft pick, please? Come on, Gary. Stop wasting time. Soon as Gary Bettman gets to the podium. Martin St. Louis at the podium.
Merci. 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 Martin et Tania, je suis content que vous êtes ici. Tania, ton père il a passé beaucoup de temps à Laval. Il a inspiré beaucoup de jeunes Lavallois comme moi quand on était jeunes. Martin, ton père, c'était l'idole de la province. OK? Il nous a fait vivre des moments inoubliables comme fans du Canadien. Merci d'être ici. Bienvenue au repêchage. Bienvenue à tous les fans du hockey, mais spécialement à nos fans des Canadiens. Encore une fois, à guichet fermé. Vous êtes vraiment extraordinaires. Merci.
These guys are wasting a lot of time, man. I don't know why they won't get down to the picks. Oh my god. So excruciating watching this nonsense. Why does Martin St. Louis got to talk about how he was undrafted? It's unnecessary, man. The NHL never does anything right. Who cares if you weren't drafted, man? Come on. This is so excruciating to watch. Why is Martin St. Louis giving out? Martin St. Louis up there saying it doesn't matter if you don't get drafted tonight. You can still play in the National Hockey League. We don't need an inspirational speech. Get down to the picks. Come on. Wow. They are killing it, man. They are just killing the draft. They killed all the excitement with all this talking. Shut up and just get it going, man. All this talking. Gary Bettman gets back on the podium. Thank you for your hospitality, bro. We get it. Congratulations to all the players that are going to get picked today. Wow. No draft has ever been this boring. Wow, this is excruciating.
The first selection in the 2022 NHL Draft belongs to the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal, à vous la parole. Montreal, you are on the clock.
I truly believe that every player in the NHL should have an opportunity to play for your Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, they're gonna milk the entire 2.5 minutes on the clock. They're playing a video like this was planned. It was planned. Instead of getting up and walking over to the podium and making the pick, they had a video planned. This is the worst. This is the worst, man. This is the worst. Who does this? Look how many... Did Edmonton do this for their first overall pick? Did the Toronto Maple Leafs do this? This is so boring.
A fantastic ovation for Martin Lafleur, for Tanya Bossy, and for Martin St. Louis. And a good point he brought up, gentlemen. Undrafted. If your name is not called in the next 2 days, your NHL dream doesn't necessarily die. So that's a good message to all those players who won't hear their name called. But in a matter of moments, Sam, we are going to hear a player's name called, the newest member of the Montreal Canadiens. Give us a sense of the anticipation, but also what we might see in the next couple of minutes.
It's going to be absolutely fascinating. I think we can pick a list of 10 names that'll comfortably fill those 10 spots, but after that, there are no discernible ledges, and that's what makes this thing interesting. You could look at number one right now. Is it Slavkovsky? Is it right? Maybe Logan Cooley. Pretty awesome. We still don't know.
Well, the one guy that I would look to in part of this decision, not just Marty Lapointe, Nick Bobroff, who is a scout that spent a lot of time over in Europe. He came over from the New York Rangers with Jeff Gordon, so he knows the European component.
The number one pick is in. Montreal has made their choice.
The under-18s this year in Germany with Marty Lapointe, and we picked each other's brains for 8 hours or so. I can tell you that he was stressed, but at the same time excited about the opportunity. It doesn't get any better than this, fellas, right here in Montreal.
I'll just say one thing. It's hard to teach big. Yuri Slavkovsky is big. He's a big man, and he reminds you a little bit of Jaromir Jagr the way he plays.
6'4", 229. Whatever happens, we're going to see some history here. Shane Wright would be the highest pick ever from the Kingston Frontenacs, their OHL team. Eric Goodbranson, Chris Gratton were selected 3rd overall. Or Juraj Slavkovsky could be the highest picked Slovakian we've ever seen, the highest pick to date. Marian Gaborik picked 3rd overall back in 2000.
The Montreal Canadiens are finally getting up from their table. Get up already, man. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with these people? Wow, nobody has ever milked the number one pick overall like this before in their life. Get up there already.
And all the brass are heading to the podium as Montreal will make the first overall pick for the first time since 1980. Let's take a listen to Kent Hughes and the Habs about to make their pick.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir à nos partisans. Merci beaucoup pour votre soutien incroyable. Je veux aussi souhaiter bienvenue aux espoirs et leurs familles. I would like to thank and welcome all the prospects and their families to Montreal. On behalf of the Montreal Canadiens organization, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to the Marchment family and to the San Jose Sharks for the untimely passing of Brian. Congratulations to Joe Sakic and the Colorado Avalanche. Avec notre premier choix au repêchage, with our first pick in the 2022 NHL Draft, les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national team and TPS Turku, Juraj Slafkovsky.
Juraj Slafkovsky. The fans seem to like the pick.
A beautiful moment for Juraj Slafkovsky and his family, the Olympic MVP, and maybe cemented his #1 overall pick with 2 goals in the bronze medal game versus Sweden, the highest picked Slovakian ever. We didn't know how it was going to go. Now that it's happened, your reaction, Sam?
Well, you see where he gets his height from. There's no